Friends, welcome back to our class, Performance Management. Today we are going to have last session. Today we are having theories. Now we are going to complete one by one, have great and good explanation. So first we'll go with the first topic of today's classes, how the direction of troubleshooting with behavior model. The last class we discussed about the Gilbert's behavior and engineering model and the Gilbert's performance matrix. These are the two separate topics. The models. Now we are going to start with the new topic, that is the direction of troubleshooting organized by the Wolf. Now the term troubleshooting is the context of performance management that refers to the methods or approaches that are employed to correct the poor performance at work by the employees. In short and simple way, correcting the performance of the employees in the organization is known as troubleshooting behavior model. That's it. So this was developed by this survey has been done by Wolf in 2008, covering 139 organizations. Concluded that 4 by 5 of the organizations had experience and performance among their workforce at some point of time. Thus, troubleshooting plays a very important role. That means in playing a key role in the performance improvement and performance analysis. So what is happening in the troubleshooting and performance analysis? A simple method to view and gauge employee job performance in the performance matrix and the behavioral engineering model. So these models have the following basis. Before going that, we will have one example. For example, a credit card company will examine the types of businesses that a card is normally used at, the location of the stores, the frequency and the amount of each purchase to estimate what both for future purchase behavior and whether the cardholder is likely to run into repayment problems. That means it is going to check whether the credit card who is going to take, who is applying in the bank. The bank will do the survey whether he is able to pay or not. What is the source of income? How is going to pay back the amount? What is the source of his transaction? That means how many times he is taking the loan and how many times he is paying the debt. So what was his past data and how is performance? How is what kind of business does he is having? In which location is having? So that comes in the good area or in the red alert area. All those things are coming. So these are the things we are going to take place. So here we are going to say that the performance of the organizations is taking place in the troubleshooting making. So just have a look here. What are the things are there in the behavior, actual behavior control, how the process there. This will be explained here now. Now the troubleshooting and the performance analysis are taking place on the some following aspects. What are those? The person who take up the job of employee, then troubleshooting are experts in the area of employee behavior and performance. So what is happening? The person who is reputed in the organization is taking up the job of employee, then what sort of troubleshootings will be there? Their experts will come to know in which area he is doing the mistakes. However, it is challenging for the troubleshooting experts to put forth the performance information in a systematic way. So it will consider some time, some money, some efforts for the experts to put the performance information in the organization or the systematic way. So this is going to be taking place in the training. All these things is taking place now. Troubleshooting model is similar to physical engineering model or the PEM, and the performance troubleshooter can become a better diagnostic center or better diagnostician, I can say. So what is happening apart from Gilbert? This is very systematically, which is going to be dialoged very well in the checking and analyzing the performance of the employees. Now, to tackle, we are having one model. That means Gilbert performance matrix is there. Or here we are having two models. That means to clearly understand the various methods of troubleshooting, we can examine the performance matrix. That means Gilbert performance matrix. Already what we have done in the research class, which helps to identify the 3 stages of performance like analysis, models, measures, and methods. These 3 we have done already. Next one is diagnostic centers. Already we have done this also. Then tackle the problem of poor performance organization. may first clearly describe the mission of the organization. What is that? The good mission statement would pass the ACORN test. ACORN. A for accomplishment, C for control, O for overall objective, R for reconcile, N for numbers. So what does it include? We'll learn one by one. Now, accomplishment. The accomplishment means here the firms may check that the mission would clearly state the accomplishment of the employees rather than mere description of behavior. So what is the they have to check in this the mission would clearly state, that means it's going to show the accomplishment of the employees behavior rather than descriptions. Next, control. It requires the, that means the diagnostic model, that means the acronyms its need, that means the control needs the firms to check whether the employees has full control over their performance or not. How they are performing, whether performing properly in their performance or not, they have to check in that. Next, overall objectives. It needs to be checked that the state objectives or the mission is an overall objective and not just a sub goal. So what is happening here? The objective is taking just a sub goal. Overall mission should be there. Sometimes what is happening? We have to clear and cut out mention the we should have to accomplish the goals and mission of the organization. Then the company employees can able to understand what is the main mission and goal of the organization so that they can work on it. Then they have to control. They should have a control on their employees for running the organization smoothly. Then overall objectives. They have to check the objectives and they have to ensure that the employees are working according to their objectives or not. They have to do that. Then reconcile. That means the mission should be flexible enough to be aligned with other goals of the organization. It should not have to change again and again. It should be very flexible and it should have to run for the long term. So before going to start the business, the organization should have to prepare properly. Last one is numbers. The stated mission should be quantifiable in nature, that it should be measurable. These are the 5 terms in the diagnostics model. Now we are having the next one, that is Mager and Pire's troubleshooting model. Here the space is not there. That's the reason I had kept here Magers. Magers and Pire's troubleshooting, that means the employees are the most important components of the organization. The satisfaction of the customers and the success of the organization is directly related to the performance of the employees. It means that it is necessary to maintain and reinforce good performance throughout the organization. So, however, that means sometimes the performance problems will be there. So, what are those? Are why the problems will be created in the performance? Let's see. See the gap between the actual employee performance and the required performance. That means what is the required performance of an individual the company is expecting, and what is the employee performance, current our actual employee performance is that. So they will match whether it is going reaching to that or not, it is below or it is above, they check it. Then sudden unwanted event or situation, that means unwanted situations will require the troubleshooting problem will take. All of a sudden the employees want to resign and he left the job and he may not able to do. So this can be takes place. An effective method for troubleshooting performance model was proposed by Mager and Piper in their book, like the book name is Analyzing Performance Problems in 1984, and it is known as Mager and Piper's troubleshooting model or the performance analyzing flow chart. This is very, very important. So here you can see on the screen that maybe it is not that much clear. I'm just trying to expand it. But if you take out the printout, it is very clear and cut out how the performance is there. Just in the flow chart, if you just read once, it is going in the yes or no. We can see here, but the questions are yes and the questions are no. The employee is ready to do or not. That means he can take the task made by user, yes. Either his defined use, that means what are the genuine skills does he have? If yes or no. Can the employee performance be improved? Yes. No means no. Then providing necessary training. If his performance is needed, then what sort of things are there? Need. So calculate the cost involved, calculate draft. Everything is there. Yes or no. Is the performance feedback is provided to him or not? Yes or no. Check whether the problem is solved. If it is having any kind of vulnerabilities has been solved or not. Whether the food performance has been rewarded or not. Everything is getting in this Mager and Piper. So what is the main cause of performance problem and tool for the measuring? Here, the Mager and Pipes has identified the following causes. The negative impact of the performance problem of the organization is poor performance lead to the slow service or the rework of the task. It leads to the waste of monetary resource as a result of lost goods and raw materials, poor quality of organizational output, damage to sophisticated equipment and increased chances of accident at work, loss of time and customer loyalty. So, if I go and explain here, we are having certain troubleshooting problems are there. Here is like identifying the employee performance problem. With the help of this chart, we can able to understand or we can that means whether the employee performance has been increased or not. Employees various quick fix tools has been taking place or not. Either the company is checking the consequence or review the organizational performance policy or not. Identifying skill deficiencies, search for other clues, calculating the cost and implementation solution are taking place or not. These are the things that are taking place in the Mager and Pipes theory. Performance model. Next one is we are having ATI performance. That what does it mean? Let's see. Now, attribute treatment interaction. So, research nowadays, what is happening? Researchers has found that some methods of training are better suited for certain types of individuals. Like this led to the development of the attribute treatment interaction. See, attribute treatment interaction research attempts to answer the questions like which treatment is best for whom, for which individual. Recent critical reviewers of ATI, means attribute uh, we can say that means attribute treatment interaction methodology has cited numerous pragmatic and methodological shortcomings of traditional experiment designs and argued that successful ATI research will require an alternative uh, approach. Now, this manuscript describes a purely correlation and ATI method that addresses the more serious criticisms of the experimental ATI research. So here, what we are saying, this was actually this theory was a model was developed by Professor Ruth Canfor and Philip Ackmar, developed ATI theory, and this is the cognitive resource allocation theory. This theory helps to understand the cognitive ability motivation for skill acquisition and task performance on the basis of individual information processing ability. Next, what are the propositions? See the amount of here we are having certain points where it is going to take place. Now, the propositions of ATI theory is the amount of attention that is required by a task influences an individual's ability and motivation to perform the task. So, what is happening? The intention, that means the amount of attention is required by the task, and what is the task has been given by the individual. We are going to check the attention, how much he is able, either his how much ability is there and how much motivation perform is, should be needed to complete the task. The next one, the attentiveness of an individual, that means the trainee, how the individual as a newcomer or the employee who joins recently and his attentiveness is, that means his attention towards the work is there or not. We are going to check. Then changes during the three phases. They are having three phases in the skill acquisition. What are those? Declarative knowledge. What does declarative knowledge means? It refers to the formation of mental representation of the task in the minds of the trainee. Next one is knowledge compilation. It refers to the alignment of an individual's cognitive and motor process which are required to perform the job. Then procedural knowledge. It refers to the individual's capability to perform the cognitive process automatically with little intention. Next one is the theory. That means the ATI theory assumes that an individual cognitive ability is related to his or her attentional resources. Thus, the higher the level of cognitive ability, that means how much people, that means which every individual is having their different skills. So, the people who is having a high level of cognitive ability, those people will be given more attention towards the work, and the people will get rewarded more or earlier. Next, the motivational process use upon individual cognitive resources. It means that during the initial phase of skill acquisition, every individual would uh, use most of this cognitive ability to learn the task on whatever the task will be given to them. During the training, they learn all this is what are the things they have to do, how they have to work, everything will be taking place. Then we are having what are the uses of this theory or implication of this theory. See, during the declarative knowledge phase, individuals who possess high level of cognitive ability are likely to perform better than other individuals who has low level of cognitive load. So this theory is helpful in focusing another aspect. Not only that, using motivational efforts during the declarative knowledge, uh, and we can say that here the performance of an individual can be attentional resource to learn the task. And on the other hand, using motivational tools during the compilation and procedural phase leads to enhanced performance for low and high ability individuals. So, thus the research concludes that an individual's ability and self-efficiency are better predictors of performance during the declarative phase, whereas motivation is a better predicator of performance during the two phases of skill acquisition. So, it is very clear in cutout that these are the things are needed over here. Next one is uh, just a minute. So here what we are saying that the motivation is very important for the individuals for using that. That means in the declarative the employees need the knowledge, he needs some time to learn, he needs some tactics strategies to follow. So the declarative knowledge is there where he is going to there. Then after getting the declarative knowledge, then they focus on the knowledge compilation and procedure knowledge. Next we'll go for the next and the last topic of the today's class, that is Spanberg, not last one, second last, Spanberg's integrator model. So Spanberg integrator model consists of three levels. What are those? Organizational level, functional level, individual level. So these every again this each level consists of one performance management cycle with 5 phases. What are those? Performance planning, design, managing performance, reviewing performance, and rewarding performance. Here you can see in this picture. So these are the Spanberg's integrated model. That means every level, that means organization level is having performance planning, design, managing, and functional also having. All these things are having the same thing. Now, for this, what is performance planning? See, uh, the performance planning can be taken place uh, by the process which starts with the performance planning. That means performance management process starts with the performance planning. You people know this. Planning is what is the initial step for the performance. That means an idea, creating of ideas, bringing a thought, planning before doing. Then performance management, that means it's here it gives a clear guidelines and that is going to be provided to the employees with respect to the task in before starting the work. Then, in an organization, the performance of the team depends mainly on the individual performance as well as the team members' performance. Then they are going to check whose performance is poor, or whose performance is negative, and who needs the training and who need to be terminated, or who is going to give the huge profit to the organization. So the performance planning can be defined as a framework of activities performed by a manager for giving maximum contribution towards the achievement of organizational objectives. So what the performance plannings include? It includes duties and responsibilities of the employees towards the job performance, role clarity, what are their roles, what are their uh, norms, what are their positions, what is their sort of skills are needed, what are the goals and objectives which are to be achieved, performance standards for comparing against actual performance, time to be spent on performing the desired activities, the nature of the contributions, all that means the quality, quantity type of contributions are needed. All these things comes under this. Then mission, what is the main mission of the company, main vision of the company, what are the strategies they are going to develop, and the last one I can say that here organizational goals set and communicate. They have to set the organizational goals and set up it by seeing the situation and condition. Next one is design. What do you mean by design? Structuring the plan, that is called design. After first step we are going to do the structure, that means design. The design considerable includes the organizational design and structure, what how the organization design should be there and how the organizational structure should be there. So then the organizational design, what is happening here? The how the organizational structure is there, uh, how the organizational design is there, how the process should be there, how the team should be there, whether the team goals, how the job individual goal, everything is going to be focused on this criteria. Next one is managing the performance. The managing the performance consists of, it includes steps like organizations, what sort of organization should be there, what is the process of the function should be there, what are the individual or the team tasks will be there. See what is happening in the organization. Development and change should be there. They have to focus on the functional goals. They have to focus on the resources. They have to check on the interface with the all the employees, internal and external goals. What are the sub goals? What are the resources? What are the interface? What is the team building? What is the individual building? All these things are coming in the managing the performance. That means if I take an example of individual, how the team building activities should be there, providing the feedback, coordination with the employees, adjustment with them, resources are equally distributed, developing the employees' knowledge and skill by providing effective feedback. All these things are there. Then for suitable and achievable glass goals are established. Link between the process step and manage, distributing adequate number of resources to all the departments, performance of process are monitored and evaluated on the regular intervals. All these things are coming in the management, performance, and the functions. That means what how the organization should be, where the place should be located, what sort of resources are needed. It should be distributed equally. Coordination should be there between functions, management, and the organization and the employee. It should be decided on the basis of organization's goals, manage, analyze, forward. Yeah. The very next one is reviewing performance. How the reviewing performance is taking place. Organizations perform. That is what are the things are needed are coming under the reviewing performance. See, organization performance review annually. Annually, they have to review it how the company function, whether they have reached their goals or not, to their mission, vision or not, or they have to add some new strategies or not. Everything will be taking place annually. Providing input of resources required in the strategic plan. Whatever the strategic planning has been done, according to that, they have to provide the resources into that department. Then annual review of performance of the process and function. Annually, they will check the performance of the employees because depending on their process and function. Then team and individual performance are also reviewed yearly. Then rewarding performance. In the rewarding performance, what other things are included? That means rewarding is a whole. That means rewarding performance of the whole organization's the financial performance is analyzed. How the financial, that how much it got cost, how much expenditure has been taking place, whether we are in the profit zone or not. They will calculate everything. Then the functions of the process are rewarded. That means how the process functions and are being taking place of the individual or the team. So according to their work and result, they will be rewarded in accordance with the value of organization performance and contribution by the process of the functions and process, either on the basis of cash or hiking the salary, foreign trips or promotions XYZ. Then rewards of the individual and team performance should be as per the value of the organization's performance. So what are the rules and regulations has to be managed in the performance, it should have to be given to them. So this was the Spanbox. Next, the search model for organizations. Last topic of this chapter is search model for organization performance. See, a simple and effective model to improve the overall organization performance was proposed by Sears and Robeck and Company in the year in 1994. Sears Company is established and well established United States retail chain that sells different types of goods at its retail outlet. However, the company ran into losses running into $1 billion of dollars. Now this prompted company's top management to find the reason for the business slowdown. Why the business has come down, they have to come to know. Then they conducted the research to know the relationship that exists between the employee attitude, customer behavior and profits and their this and their performance. This leads to the search model. Yes. If you see here how the company plays, how the competitors, that means customers' expressions are there. Now, attitude toward about the job title of the employees, how their attitude is there, employees' perception about the company, employees' retention about the company. So, employer behavior is going to be checked. Attitude about the company, attitude about the job. Then this leads to how the customer intention is there. So this is going to be taking place. Now again these prompt services are going to be helpful for the money. Then the customer expressions, how the customer expressions are here. That means service helpful or not, whether it is a merchandise or not, whether it is a value, that means customer satisfaction are getting or not. Customer recommendations, what are the customer recommendations? Who are the loyal customers? Who are the or what are the customer retentions? So these are the things are there. So they have increased the revenues and good returns on investment for the organizations. So what is happening? The return on the assets, operating margin revenue growth is taking place. For what? Customer impression for customer retentions to match this. So what is happening here? Unit scale of organizations. So employees behavior in the 5 units. Here if you can see a 5 unit increase in employee attitude that drives into 1.3 unit increase in the customers impressions that drives to 0.5 increase in the revenue growth. When we are increasing the employee attitude, then it is increasing the customer impression. That means the employees who are working in the organizations, they will bring impressions towards the customers to purchase. Once the customers are impressed to purchase the goods of the company, definitely there will be a hike in the sale. When the hike in the sale takes place, then the profit of the sales will takes place. As a result, the company profit maximization is growing. Now, I will explain you that how it is used. That means uh, the researchers use a 70 items questionnaire and to assess the employee attitude towards the job and company. Items like I like the work I do, I am proved to work as Sears, I understand the basic strategy, I know the mission and vision of the organizations, I am happy with the salary, I am happy with my boss. Yes or no, all these kinds of questions will be there and they have done. So they have collected the data. So the model states that there exists a direct relationship between the employee, their behavior, their customer behavior, and company's profitability. So the employee's behavior consists of elements like employee's attitude towards his or her job, employee's perception about the company, and so on. What is their perception? That means employee's perception towards the company. They come to know. Then this helped to statisticians to scale organizational improvement was developed. And when the customer impression consists of elements as customer satisfaction, customer recommendation, customer loyalty, etc. So what is the main unit scale of organization performance? That means the scale which you are seeing here, this scale states that 5 units increase in the attitude of the employees would lead to 1.3. When 5 units, when 5, for example, when 5%, taking percent, when 5% of or 5 units increase in the employment's attitude, then 1.3 unit increases in the customer impressions. When 1.3 units increase in the customer impression, then in return, we leads to 0.5% increase in the profits of the company. So what is there? What is the uses of this model? This model is very effective. It's creating a good employee customer profitability model and effective measurement tools, aligning the management with the model, implements the model and boosts the moral and trust among the employees. So here we can say that Sears company was successfully able to turn around the company and become a profitable enterprise by implementing the model. So this model can be used by other organizations to boost its overall organization's performance. So these were the things where we were hiding. So we have completed our portion of performance management by today with fifth unit. Students, have a nice day. If you have any kinds of doubts and topics of fourth unit or third, please mention me so that I can take the class once again. Whatever the topics you need. Thank you. Have a nice day.